What's up, Laker fans? How we doing? Uh, Lakers just went up 3-1. Um, that was a great game from basically start to finish. That fourth quarter was kind of whack. Um, but again, Lakers take game four, go up in the series 3-1. Look to close it out on Saturday. And that was one of the how we doing, Chris?
What up, man? What up?
Nothing much. How's your Thursday going?
It's going a lot better now that the Lakers won, that's for sure.
Yeah. Welcome to the Game 4 reaction from King Watch LA. This is Daniel Beltz and Christopher Kidd. And we're both Laker fans, I believe, right?
I'm a LeBron fan, and I've jumped on the train as a Laker fan. Yes.
Did you watch the Texan game at all as well, or just the Laker Rocket?
I've checked it out here and there, but I turned it off, and yeah, it's a blowout.
Kind of like how Game 4 was until that last 5 or so minutes with whatever the hell the Lakers were doing that last quarter.
Yeah, man, that was not pretty. I thought they were going to close the door with just close the door pretty much. Offensively and defensive, they were playing really well, and then they just kind of got too relaxed, and we saw what happened because that team went on a run. They were getting steals off of turnovers, lazy passes from Caruso, LeBron, AD. I mean, they got to be more tuned in even when they're up 20 because there's no quit with the Houston Rockets. They see an opportunity, they're going to take it. And luckily, the Lakers have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, because if that wasn't the case, if they were both in foul trouble or something else had happened, we might be looking at a 2-2 series right now.
Yeah. What do you think about James Harden making the same amount of field goals tonight as Talen Horton-Tucker?
I love it. I think the Lakers did a tremendous job in just making it tough for him. Like they wanted him to attack the basket from the most part. They didn't want him getting open looks from the three, and they made him go to the basket, and he did earn a lot of points at the foul line, and that really helped the Lakers defense overall because he wasn't hitting step back threes.
No.
I mean, did he make a three tonight?
He made a three, but I don't think it was a step back. I think it was just wide open in transition in the first quarter.
I mean, James' game is predicated around just, handling the rock, creating space and making a shot out of, thin air. And people are like, well, that's just a bad shot. No, that's James Harden. That's a good shot for him. And the Lakers have done in these last two games have done a really good job of forcing him off the three and making him attack the basket, doing something that he's not. I mean, he can do it, but that's not where his bread and butter is. His bread and butter is knocking down threes and getting to the basket. Whereas the Lakers are saying, no, we're giving you the basket. We're not letting you knock down threes. And I think that's kind of messing up the Rockets' game plan from a standpoint of, they're getting the ball out of my hands. And then when they do close out on me, I mean, they're playing good D. So if I do force this three, it's going to be a really tough shot. I'm probably going to miss. And it's not in rhythm. So I think the Lakers are doing a fabulous job. If they do it again in game 5, that'd be impressive. Just keep him off the three and make him go to the basket. I mean, that's what you want. Let Westbrook chuck the three. I mean, he's like a 30% shooter, if not less than that career-wise. I think the Lakers will gladly take their percentages there.
So my thing with Harden, you can't be compared to the all-time shooting guard greats if you're not going to take what the defense gives you. Yep. They're giving him the mid-range and the floater, and he's not taking it. He's still kicking it out to Westbrook or Austin Rivers or PJ Tucker for three. And I'm like, dude, your team needs a bucket.
Yeah.
Shoot the ball. You're James fucking Harden. You can't go into a game 4 where you need this to not go down 3-1 and you only score twice. Like, to me, you can't be small game James all the time if you want to be in the greatest conversation of shooting guards.
Yeah.
You're not AI, you're not Wade, you're not Kobe, you're not Jordan, you're not any of those players if you're going to continue to play like this. As we've seen with Giannis, regular season stats don't matter. It's what you do in the playoffs that defines your legacy. And we're seeing AD develop that legacy this year. And we're going to see him continue to develop that legacy as we go on. But you can't be compared to those type of players if you're going to do this every single time your team kind of needs you. And I'm tired of people like defending that. If he plays like ass, just call him out. We don't need to hear how he has one MVP, how he has this many scoring titles, how he puts up 36 to 40 every night when he does this when it's winning time. I don't care what you do until you win. And for him, I don't care.
No, I feel it, man.
I'm not trying to shit on him, but like,
nah, you're just being honest. Like, we pump him up all year long. We say these things, and then come the postseason, it's kind of the same thing. But I'll give him this. I think he's improving the standpoint of he's giving with the defense. He's taking what the defense is giving him. He's not able to create his own three still, but he's going to the basket. You're right. He's not hitting mid-range shots. He's not getting the float game. That's something that he needs to take to the next level. So this summer, instead of working on all these crazy step-back threes, maybe add that mid-range and the floater to your game. That way, when a team like Los Angeles, the Lakers or the Clippers are like, we'll give you the mid-range, you got 30 points off mid-range. You're like, well, we really can't stop this guy. And that's where you're a complete player, and that's where you could take your team to the Western Conference Finals, to an opportunity to win a championship, because you're right. He gets the lane, and it's to the basket. They know he's not going to stop and pop. He's going to go to the basket. And the Lakers, as I mentioned before, have done a fabulous job at keeping their hands up near their ears and, jumping straight up when they do try to contest a shot. I think Caruso was fabulous tonight. Yeah,
he's doing that exact same thing.
I think he did a really good job about that, jumping straight up, hands in the air, and just contesting. And James Harden, moving the ball from side to side, and Caruso's hands are right there, and the ball pops out. That's great D. And I loved it. I thought it was, the game plan was solid. They trapped him from the jump because they got to get the ball out of his hands and make someone else score. And that's what you want to do. I mean, right now you look at the roster, they only have two creators, in my opinion, Westbrook and Harden. Yep. If it's not in their hands, it's tough for them to create offense. The Lakers, they got AD, Rondo, who's proving that, yes, I can still hoop, and LeBron. Caruso, he needs to show more consistency because he has lapses sometimes. I'm just like, bro, you just can't just – like the turnover when Austin Rivers was guarding AD, that should have not resulted in a turnover. That should have been a pump here, and you could have lobbed it to him. I mean, those are little things that Caruso has to work on. And Frank's leaving him out there. Like, he'll make those turnovers, and Frank's just like, all right, we'll leave you out there. But
for Caruso, he'll turn the ball over, and then he'll sprint back on defense, and like 9 times out of 10, he'll stop a fast break. Yeah. So I can live with that. He doesn't complain when he turns the ball over. And he falls into that thing where I'm just going to pass it to AD. AD can go get it because he's AD. And he does the same thing with LeBron, too. His turnovers come when he's passing it to LeBron or AD because he just thinks that they'll be able to get it. And he just kind of like throws like a half-ass pass to it. And so like he just needs to be like, hey, like I actually got to put them in position to succeed, even though they're superstars. That's where he falls into trouble with that.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, I think tonight was just executed for 42 minutes as LeBron and AD, I believe, said in the post game. They said around 42, 43 minutes. They executed their game plan. They just got to tighten the knots and make it a full 48 minutes. And I think game 5, they will do that. And I expect a nice, 15, 20-point win when they do so, because at this point, the Rockets, I mean, they're just out there like, damn, what do we do? Yeah. I mean, every time I get the ball, I'm doubled. Well, yeah, you're one of the best scorers we've seen in some time. We're not letting you get loose. We'll make someone else score. And that's been fun to watch.
Yeah. But so we did that with Dame, right? We trapped Dame too. Dame got doubles too. I don't hear from Blazer fans calling us cowards for trapping or double teaming Dame.
That's called being smart.
All I've heard from Houston fans is that the Lakers are cowards because they're doing the same thing they did to Dame as they're doing to Harden.
I'll ask them this: What's the series score? Is it 3-1?
3-1, and I'm like, I think Dame and CJ kind of prepared us for Westbrook and Harden just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit, absolutely.
So I'm glad we got them in round 1, even though Chuck and X amount of NBA media people predicted the Blazers. So I'm kind of glad we got that tune up because we needed that. We needed to face an offensive threat that we had a game plan for because we needed to see that from Vogel. We needed to see him make defensive adjustments on the fly. Oh
yeah, that series was a nice little tune up. I know you hate it, but I think that first game for each series, these past series, is just let me see what these guys are all about. Because I think the Lakers are really confident in their defense. They harp on that all the time. Like we want to be the best, if we want to be one of the best, if not the best defensive team in the league, and they are showing it against these two superstars and Westbrook and Harden, and they held Harden to under 22 points tonight. And he was at the foul line. The Lakers are like, we'll take it. You're not really impacting the game. You're getting fouls. Okay, you've been doing that. But it's a problem when he's shooting 15 to 20 from the foul line or 19 to 20 from the foul line and also jacking up 23s and going 10 of 20 from there. And then his field goals is, 13 of 27. That's a problem. The Lakers have cut out the middle part of him being a 3-point factor, and they've said, yeah, bro, live at the foul line. I mean, I looked at this. I think one point the score was their Lakers were up 15. LeBron had 14, 10, and 8. And I'm just like, that's great. LeBron is really just coasting.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. I want LeBron to just coast. LeBron has the luxury of just not having to play 110%, which is great. Defensively, he's giving it all. But offensively, cool. LeBron should chill. I don't mind that because it's not going to get easier. The Clippers are not going to be an easy matchup. But when LeBron's 100%,
yeah,
it's gonna be a fun Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, tonight LeBron had 16, 11, and 9, but like I felt there were times where I didn't see him on the court for like 3 or 4 minutes, basically, where he was out there, but like he didn't have to play to the typical standards LeBron has to play to win a playoff game.
Exactly.
Caruso, AD, Rondo, even Danny Green and KCP both had 10 points tonight.
Yeah.
Like the others played well, and it kind of seemed like LeBron just got to like coast, put the team in the correct spots, pass the ball, play defense, and then just rebound the ball, and that was it. That's all he had to do tonight.
Yeah, that's
like he shot terribly either. Like Anthony Davis and LeBron James, I believe, are shooting above 55% in this playoffs, and I believe they're the best duo in the NBA that the NBA has to offer.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. And as long as they're doing the defensive end, I think when they lock in defensively, it just opens up everything else. Everybody's more confident. Shooters are knocking down shots. It just makes it just sets them up right where they want to be, I think, personally. And it started with the Blazers, a great matchup. They have snipers. They have guys that are going to hustle on both ends, and it just all worked out. And I'm happy they got the Rockets. I did not want OKC to win that series at all because I knew it just wasn't going to prepare them for what they had to go through in regard to going up against the Clippers. OKC is just not the matchup. It's just not favoring where the Lakers want to be. Beating this team, the Houston Rockets, who are this and that with James Harden, one of the greatest. I mean, the Lakers are proving that defensively they can make it tough for him. I'm not saying they can stop him, but they can make it challenging, and you're seeing it. And people are calling the Lakers cowards for playing smart. I'm sorry. If you're going to play smart, how are you a coward? Yeah. The goal is to win the series and go to the next round. If you have someone on the offensive end who is a threat dribbling the ball and he wreaks havoc behind the three, what are they supposed to do? I mean, it's common sense, and I get it. They're fans. I understand. They don't understand. They're just like, oh, you're a coward because you're doing ABC. No, I'm trying to win. Yeah. I'm trying to win.
So what do you think of Talen Horton-Tucker tonight?
I'm glad you brought him up. I thought he is going to be a problem in this league. Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star or anything, but he's young and he's gritty, and he's not afraid of the moment. I mean, he took 2 shots, and I'm like, oh, snap. And he made the second one, which is a 3. And then he went to the basket. And then he got a little too confident,
He took a 3 from far. He took a far 3, like a couple feet behind the 3-point line. And I'm like, all right. I love the progression, but in a couple years, take that.
Yeah, he was backing down. I don't remember who it was. He was backing down. It might have been Westbrook, and he tried a little fadeaway.
It was James again.
Yeah, and he missed it. And Van Gundy was like, you're getting too confident, young fella. You got AD on your freaking team. Let's give it to AD. But I think Frank Vogel knows what he's doing. He's building his confidence up. And I think that just makes the roster better. Now it's even deeper. You don't have A.B. Bradley, who's one of your best defensive players, but you have a young guy who's like, I'm up. Oh, let's go. And he was locked in defensively. Let's make that clear. He got a steal. He knocked the ball out of Jeff Green's hand. That created a fast break. I mean, he was locked in there. And then offensively, he was with it.
Yeah. So he took both 3s with confidence. He attacked James Harden off the dribble with confidence. He poked 2 balls loose, got 2 steals, and he looks every bit of NBA ready as a rookie can. With that, he could have gone 2 ways. He could have looked like Isaac Bonga, who traveled the first 4 times he touched the ball in the Lakers Summer League game, his first game. When he got back from overseas to there, he traveled. But tonight, I don't look like he's ready for the moment. And this is why many Laker fans were wanting him to get run during the regular season. So by the time postseason comes, he'd be kind of a little bit more comfortable with the rotation because this was his first playoff action.
Yeah.
Those were his first playoff points. And the fact that he made as many shots as James Harden did tonight is just hilarious to me.
No, I feel that. I mean,
7 minutes, he scored as much as James Harden with shot attempts, which is nuts. Yeah, so how do you feel about Alex Caruso? Do you think that level of play is sustainable, or will the defense always be there and the offense is hit or miss?
I think the defense will always be there, but I want him to be more, I don't want to say it's hit or miss on, I mean, it's a hit or miss on the offense. I want him to just be more consistent. Just be aware of the moment and just take your time. I think sometimes I don't know. I just think sometimes he's moving too fast and he makes tiny mistakes. But to your point, he hustles back and he doesn't give up. He understands he made a mistake and he's like, shoot, how can I make up? And Frank, as I mentioned earlier, he allows him to make those mistakes and he leaves them in the game. And then he's able to make a play defensively. But against better teams, whether it be in the Western Conference Finals or if the Lakers make the NBA Finals, which I think they will, he has to be better because those teams are going to make him pay.
Yeah.
No matter how hard he hustles on defense, just better teams are going to make him pay. And you got to knock it. You got to knock it down now. Just try to get it out. But offensively, he's been solid. You just got to figure out in key moments. We're up 10. Fake a pass to make a pass.
Yep.
Attack the basket. And I get you might have got bumped, but try to finish strong. I know he's not the tallest or biggest guy out there, but we got to find a way from him to finish at the rim and be strong. Try not to be like LeBron barking and crying at the refs. Just play your game, man. Play your game, knock down your shots, and get back on defense because you are a key component to this Laker team.
Yeah, tonight, actually, these first 2 rounds will be the toughest opponents defensively for him because he's had to go against Dame and CJ, and he's had to go against Westbrook and Harden. Next series, I don't think they're going to ask him to guard Kawhi or PG, nor should they. They have the size advantage on that. And whoever they meet in the finals, we'll see. But his toughest defensive opponents are in these first 2 rounds. And every single time he's been on the court, he's looked like he's belonged. And that's why a lot of people clowned us for being a Alex Caruso supporter. They thought he was just a meme. They thought that he was just like this white balding guy that Laker fans love. But when he's out on the basketball court, he's every bit as important as the next guy. And Anthony Davis has trust in him to close games. LeBron James has trust in him to close games. I believe LeBron James is one of his biggest supporters in that locker room. He understands what Caruso brings to a basketball team, and that's why I think he advocates for more Caruso minutes as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They understand his value. LeBron knows that in the trenches, he's going to be there, period. And that's the guy you want. And it's only going to make the Lakers better.
Yeah.
As long as he's doing what he needs to do, it's only going to make this team better. I mean, like LeBron said in the post game, I have confidence in Caruso knocking down that shot. Like, neighbors like, LeBron, he's not a killer. No, LeBron makes the best play possible.
Yeah.
He believes that when Caruso has an inch, a foot, and there's 2 seconds on the shot clock, he's going to be able to dish it to him, and he's confident that Caruso's going to knock it down. That's the type of player LeBron is. I don't care about him. LeBron's a different player. Just like every other athlete that comes to the league. They're all different. LeBron's first instinct is to make guys around him better. That's what makes him so special. And for him to have that belief in Caruso, it just trickles down because he has that with AD. He has it with KCP. He has it with Rondo. Like, he knows when Rondo has the ball, Rondo's going to make the right play and create for an AD, create for a KCP, create for LeBron. I mean, that's the type of trust that they're building. And they're only 9 games into this postseason run. Like, that's the scary part. They're not even a full unit. They're still working on things. And that's the exciting part. They're still known to make errors here and there, but yeah. Yeah,
and there's a reason why Caruso and LeBron, I think, were the highest net ratings for duos in the league, which is just nuts because they feed off each other's synergy on defense. They both read passing lanes. They both just make the right play on defense. And then anything they give you offensive-wise is a win. And tonight, Caruso knocking down 2 threes, getting to the lane. And Caruso, what he does valuable for LeBron is Caruso moves without the ball. Caruso cuts. If you see Danny Green, sometimes he just stands there, just waiting for a pass. If he knows that pass isn't coming, Caruso's going to cut. Whereas Danny Green would just stand there and the defense kind of just sags off and forgets about him. And sometimes LeBron can't make that pass with 2 seconds left on the clock, halfway across the court for Danny Green to shoot that. Whereas I believe 2 times a night, Caruso cut twice. There was 2 or 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and all he had to do was lay it up. And we got 4 points off that.
Yep. All right, man. These Norman Powell comments, here they go.
I don't even think you look that much like Norman Powell.
Bro, see, now that I got my fresh cut, I look nothing like this man. So Brooklyn Go Hard _ get out of here. Nah, Norman Powell out of here. What you get? What else? What's up, Daniel? What else you want to chat about, man? That was a fun game. I enjoyed it.
Let's talk about AD because A lot of people like to say AD is soft, that AD is not this, AD is not that. Dude, Ashley's killing you right now.
Ashley, why don't you just hop on here or go to bed? How about that? Go to bed. Dang, always. Sorry, what were you saying about AD before I was rudely interrupted by Ashley?
How everyone seems to have an opinion about AD on he's too soft, that he can't do this, he can't do that. But every single time you look at the Lakers, they win, and he's putting up 30 and 10 basically.
I get the stamp. I think, but for how do I put it? You look at AD, right? He is long. He's athletic. He should be averaging 30 and 15 in this series. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to word it. AD he's finesse.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Paul Gasol type with his ability to create. Not as slow and lethargic, but he's not a bruiser. When you see Andre Drummond, you're like, okay, he's going to put up 20 and 20. When you see Anthony Davis, you're thinking, 30 and 12. I personally think it should be 30 and 15. There's 3 rebounds I think he can get. And he has to be more physical. And maybe that just comes with will. I don't know. But I understand why people would come at AD and say, oh, he's soft and he doesn't bang. He was a point guard growing up. He just happened to grow. I can't blame the man. He's still figuring it out. In 3 years, he might be a bully down low. But I think he's doing a good job against the Rockets. And they're undersized. He's killing them on the boards. He did it tonight. We saw what he did tonight, right? The Lakers as a team, AD, LeBron, all those guys destroyed them on the boards, which I thought they should have done in games 1 and 2. But needless to say, they got the win and they're up 3-1. I'm not going to call AD soft. I think he's just growing and maturing, and he'll be better in the next 2-3 seasons, I think, personally, where he will be crushing teams that come up to him with small ball. Like, I think he's slowly figuring out how to attack PJ Tucker, who is an amazing defender. Let's not sleep on PJ and make it seem as if he's some scrub who's just an Iron Man out there. No, PJ can move his feet. He got good hands, and he knows how to contest without fouling for the most part. So with that, if you're calling AD soft, you're tripping.
See, I think he might be finesse on offense, but he can't be soft if he's anchoring that defense.
Oh, no. You see what he's doing on defense?
He's taking the challenge of guarding Russell Westbrook in most cases as the primary defender. Before they even set a screen, he's on Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
And that's what you and I believe Ashley, we killed Giannis for not being the primary defender on Jimmy. Because it's like if we expect AD to guard Russ, you should be able to expect Giannis to guard Jimmy. So he can't be soft if he's taking the challenge on defense every single night. Yeah. And I believe part of the reason his rebound numbers are just not as high as they should be for his height in the series is he's normally guarding the ball. Yep. If you're guarding the ball, the rebound's not normally going to come to you. And Rondo, LeBron, Caruso, they do a great job of flying towards the rebound. And even Danny Green tonight. Danny Green, I believe, had 4 or 5 offensive rebounds. So they will go to AD to try and box him out, leaving everyone else open on the team to go get boards. So for him, I look at it as what does he bring to the team? He brings you 30 and 10 in a win, whereas Andre Drummond will bring you 20-20 in a loss.
Yeah, it's a huge pivot. That's a huge point there.
I'm just like,
go ahead.
I just don't think he can be soft. Yes, he falls in love with that mid-range, and that's when the soft label comes out. He can shoot. He can make those. So he just falls into he falls in love with that shot too often. I don't think he's soft, because he saw tonight he's trying to attack Jeff Green, he's trying to attack Robert Covington, he's trying to attack PJ Tucker in the post. It's just they send a double. We don't complain about the double coming because it's a smart move.
Yeah.
You want to double AD with his back to the basket with 4 or 5 seconds left. Tonight he made a couple of nice passes like to Caruso, KCP, and I believe LeBron for easy buckets after. He's become a way better passer out of a double team than what he was even 6-7 months ago.
No, you're right. I mean, he's doing it. And Frank Vogel has put him in the best position to do so. And the game plan defensively is to have him move around. They're like, AD has quick feet. And someone in the comments, AD out here sticking Russ, but they gave Defensive Player of the Year to Giannis. I figured, we saw Giannis's comments. Mm-hmm. We saw Giannis. If coach tells me to guard him, what? Yeah. You should just take the challenge regardless.
Yeah.
You're pretty athletic. Your name is the Greek Freak.
Yeah.
So it's not just offensively. You can move your feet. It's just, do you accept the challenge?
Yeah.
And I was talking about LeBron earlier with my girl, and we were just discussing the fact that LeBron takes any challenge.
Yeah.
When he has to step up, He'll attempt to guard D Rose, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony. He takes a challenge. Now, will he slow him down? Maybe not. But he's going to take the challenge. He's going to try to slow them down because he realizes, A, these guys are destroying my guards. I got to try to help them out. And that's the type of mindset AD has. Well, shoot, I'll try to guard Russ. I'll make it tough for him. And he did a hell of a job. When Russ goes to the basket, it's not for sure a bucket. His hands are straight up. AD has the length, so it's not as if Russ is going to shoot over him. It's going to be a tough shot. And how many times do we see Russ flopping and flailing and the ball flying everywhere because AD stood his ground? And that defensive play against Eric Gordon, he went to the basket on the left side, pump fake. AD was standing straight up, jumps up for a layup, swats it, fast break. That's the type of defense I'm talking about. And he's going to be able to do that against Paul George and Kawhi.
Yep.
And if they make the NBA Finals, which, again, I think they will, I don't know who's going to make out the East, but whoever it is, he'll be able to cross-match and guard whoever and try to stay in front of him and make it tough for him.
Yeah, I believe next series, LeBron will, like you said, LeBron steps up to the challenge. Next series, he's going to have to guard Kawhi.
Oh,
and I believe in the regular season matchup, the first one in the bubble, he did. And I believe he locked down both Paul George and Kawhi the final possession to win us that game.
Oh, so yes.
We expect our best players to step up, and they have the voice to step up and do it. They don't have to rely on their coach to say, hey, no, you guard him. No, LeBron's just going to say, F it. My team, it's winning time. Let me do it.
Yep.
And for Giannis, I hate that he preaches Mamba mentality, but won't guard the best player. I love Giannis. I think he's a great player, but you can't say you have Mamba mentality if you're going to say, oh, I'm only going to do what my coach tells me to do.
Yeah, I think he falls under the player's coach category where I'm not saying he's afraid. He's that type of player that if my coach asks me to do something, I'll do it. I'm not here to make it seem like I'm bigger and better than the team. That's not the case. We know you're not saying that. We know you're stepping up to the challenge and you want to slow down the other best player or attempt to slow down. Like, we're not saying if Giannis doesn't stop this guy, he's a scrub. No, we understand that whoever you're guarding is a talented player. We just want you, with your athleticism, again, your name is the Greek Freak, we want you to try to slow him down. I mean, we saw what you did in L.A. against the Lakers, against LeBron. You didn't back down then.
Or did the little crowning ceremony.
Put the crown, got a few blocks. You know, you was feeling yourself and all that. But now in the postseason, when you're going up against a team that really nobody predicted other than Ashley, there's your plug.
Yeah.
No one predicted that this Miami team would be as good as they are and they would win this series. And you're like, oh, if my coach tells me to, nah. What you should have said is, nah. Next game, I'm accepting the challenge. I'm gonna go out there and try to make it tough for Jimmy or whoever it may be that's busting our ass. And he didn't do that. And that's a learning moment for him. He's still young. It's not like the dude's a veteran. He's 30 years old. He's still young. He's still learning things. And I think he'll look back on that moment and realize I was wrong, but now here I am. And then we'll be like, damn, Giannis is, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So we'll see what happens over these next few years. Hopefully don't go to the Warriors or nothing.
Yeah. So do you think the Lakers close that out on Saturday?
The hope is yes, and I think they will. I know I've been talking as if the series is over. I mean, we saw what happened in Denver with the Jazz in Denver, but the Lakers are not the Jazz and Denver is not the Rockets. I do believe the Lakers will indeed close out the series, and I think they're going to win by 15, 20-plus points. I think they're going to have the same energy that they had tonight, but I think they're just going to play for 48 minutes. And I think it's just going to be like, damn, it's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I don't see this Laker team blowing a 3-1 lead. We have Anthony Davis. We have LeBron James. I don't see it happening. And I do think either they close it out on Saturday or they send them home in Game 6.
Don't say Game 6. I don't want a Game 6, okay? No.
Game 6, I don't want the Lakers to have to play more games than the Clippers have to, like, at that point.
Okay.
The Clippers have a chance to end the series tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We would have it on Saturday. So they would get an extra day's rest already, regardless of what happens. So if we don't close it out in Game 5, they'll have like 4 or 5 more days off of not playing. So I need them to send it home on Game 5. I need both teams to close it out.
I think both teams will close it out. I think the Clippers will handle business. I think the Lakers will handle business. And then we'll get our first matchup. What is, I guess that's Monday or Tuesday, maybe? Monday?
I think Monday night, yeah.
Monday night? Ooh, well, let's hope for a Monday night special where we have the Lakers and Clippers, as we all predicted back in last year, whenever you want to say.
Why? Yeah.
Yeah, where we predicted that we'd have a battle for LA and we can get it going.
Do you think the NBA sends the Lakers and Clippers to Tuesday instead of trying to compete with the NFL on Monday then?
Ooh. Matter of fact, who's the Monday night game? Do you remember?
No, but isn't there two of them? Isn't there always two games on the first Monday night of the year?
Man, let me look for us, man. So we got Sunday. Yes, we have two games. We have Pittsburgh. Ooh, yeah.
And Raiders and Chargers always play on a Monday, right?
No, so Sunday night's Dallas and Rams. Monday night is Pittsburgh and Giants, and then Tennessee and Denver, your squad, the Denver Broncos. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know if they're going to flex it out. They might just say, we'll play.
Yeah, because those are – who's going to watch the Titans play a team without Cortland Sutton or Von Miller? Like
I'll let you say that. See, I wasn't going to disrespect your Broncos like that. I'll let you say that. But, yeah,
who's Von Miller go down, and then Cortland Sutton's probably not playing. I'm like, I'm losing faith in that team right now.
And, yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be watching the Pittsburgh and Giants game. I'm going to keep it a book. Although Saquon Barkley is pretty fun to watch.
What? AD, LeBron, Kawhi, Paul George versus Drew Lock and Ryan Tannehill. Like, I think that's an easy call for most sports fans right there.
There it is.
Let's see. Want to talk a little bit about Rondo and how he's actually been playoff Rondo for the past 3 games?
Yeah, I'll talk about Rondo, then I'm going to get on out of here because I got to take my behind the bed. But, yeah, playoff Rondo, even though he doesn't allude to it or believe in it, however you want to put it, he has tapped into Rondo that we've seen with the Celtics when he was playing with KG and Paul Pierce, and he's just tapped into it. And I love seeing it. Defensively, he's an irritant. He's a gnat. He's getting on Harden's nerves. He's talking to the officials. He's guarding Russ. I mean, he's not afraid of the moment. And then on offense, he is just as impactful. He's creating for everyone else. I mean, I think the last 2 games, he had 9 assists or 8 assists tonight. I didn't look at the final stats, but it was
2 assists away from a triple-double.
So he had 8 assists tonight. And then last game, I believe he had 9 assists. So the last 2 games, he had 17 assists. And I get his first game back. He was all over the place trying to figure things out. But now he's finally slowing down and getting the feel for it. And he's just a playmaker. When it's all said and done, he is literally a playmaker, offensively and defensively. Quick hands, savvy defender, and he's fun to watch. And as long as he is healthy, I can't wait to see him and Patrick Beverley go head up. I mean, that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be as impactful in the next series, but we needed Rondo for this series to get to the ultimate goal, basically. We need, I don't think we win this series without Rondo now. Based off of what he's done the past 3 games, if we don't have that, we're not sitting up 3-1 right now. We're 2-2, maybe even 1-3. I don't know. He's been that good as an NBA basketball player. And most of us wrote him off. I wrote him off. I wanted him holding a clipboard. I didn't want to see him actually step onto a basketball court.
Yeah. And
he's proven me wrong. And I'll gladly be wrong. A lot of that hate from him stemmed to the big 4 Celtics. When they sent us home in 2008 after we blew a 20-point lead in the 4th quarter of Game 4.
Not fun.
And I had flashbacks to that in this 4th quarter. When it went from 23 to 5, I was like, oh, shit. If we 2-2, it would have won that game. Instead, it was 1-3 after that. So I saw flashbacks of that tonight. And then he just makes winning plays. He plays, how do I say it? He's almost like a game manager, basically. What do you think about the backboard alley-oop he threw up 8 with 20 seconds to go?
Man, low key, I was in my head. I'm thinking he's gonna do something stupid and probably throw it off the backboard. I was hoping he's gonna lay it in. I'm just happy Russell Westbrook kind of moved out the way because that could have been disastrous.
Yeah, I saw Westbrook undercutting Braun on that dunk, and I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, next series.
I get it. You know, that was like the final, it's a wrap for you boys. But it was like, Rondo, just lay it in, bro. But I want to know. I'm hoping someone asked Rondo if LeBron was saying off the glass when they were running down, because I couldn't hear the audio during the live game, of course, because they're making sure we can't hear everything, obviously. But I'm hoping someone in the post game was like, hey, about that alley-oop, was LeBron in your ear? Like, how'd that happen? Because that was pretty dangerous. But ultimately, Russ moved out the way. Nice little gesture. Thank you, Russ, for not trying to end LeBron's career. And he dunked it. So I didn't like it, but it was kind of like the nail in the coffin. It's a wrap for you guys, B. Get out of here.
I didn't like it, but I think Rondo did that because of Westbrook chirping at AD all 4th quarter.
I didn't even think of that.
I think Rondo is AD's biggest cheerleader on our team, and like his biggest supporter, and like who's going to back up AD every single time. Because you saw the last 2 games when when Westbrook starts talking, Rondo comes in and starts talking back.
Yep.
Or go up to Harden and do like he showed the ref how Harden fouled him.
He's hooking me.
Rondo does the dirty work, and
Yeah.
we didn't know who that would be. We thought it was going to be Avery Bradley, but now it's Rondo, who's kind of like the little enforcer, basically. And I think he threw it off the backboard just to send a message. Like, you can talk all you want, but we're sending you guys home in game 5.
I didn't even think of that. That is actually even more accurate. Yes, because they were barking back and forth. AD and Russ, I believe, both got double technicals late in the 4th. Or was it the 3rd?
It was late in the 4th. It was when they were timeout with like 3 minutes to go.
That's what I thought. I'm like, bro, you're down 10 points, bro. Chill. You guys
did that too. He scored on AD when they were down 12 with a minute to go.
Oh, he started barking. Yeah, I remember that.
Like, what are you doing?
That's Westbrook for you, though, man. He's a dog. Like, the score could be 100-10. He's gonna bark, which is like, bro, I feel you, but nah, cut it out, man. It's a wrap.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and let you get out for the night, man. Make sure to get your plug in before you take off.
Man, make sure to follow me on Twitter at CKIDD206, and that's CKid206. Stay tuned for different covers. I got a lot in store for you guys. I might have Ashley on again. I don't know. Now she's calling me wild names. I might have to just move her to the side. But you can also listen to my podcast with my boy Mike Dugard, who works for The Athletic. Our podcast, I should say, Seahawks Man Demands, all things Seahawks. We just had on Lori, who covers the Falcons for The Athletic, and we had a dope little podcast previewing that game as the Seahawks are traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Other than that, D Beltz, I thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Down to you, man. Oh, no problem, man. And
we're talking to you after Saturday.
Oh yeah, yes. Other than that, man, I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out.
But yeah, that was just an amazing game, an amazing 4th game, up 3-1. Lakers have a chance to close it out on Saturday. I believe they do. I hope they do. And so does Chris. And that'll be it for tonight. Make sure you guys drop a like on YouTube. Make sure you guys follow along on the Twitter page at KingWatchLA. And make sure you go ahead and follow YouTube HNB Media TV. We're going to be having a lot of dope content, whether it's our Lakers, Hoops and Brews Clippers, or Ashley's Heat, and Chris's Seahawks. We're just going to be pushing out as much content as we can. We have 9 more wins to go until we get to the promised land, until we get to the trophy that needs to come back to the correct team in LA. And it's going to be special when we see the 2 teams in LA battle it out, because I think both teams advance to the Western Conference Finals, and that's going to be a heavyweight fight. That's what you pay attention all season long to. You want to watch the best teams go at it. You want to watch the best superstars go at it, and that's what's going to happen. And just before we take off, Rocket fans got exactly what you wanted this game. You guys shot above 40%. You won the free throw battle by 23. You guys shot 39 free throws. I believe we shot 16, so you can't cry about that. You're going to cry about Daniel House, but we're missing players too. Avery Bradley's not even in the bubble. Dion's hurt. You guys are crying about players not being able to play, but we have that as well. We don't make excuses. We believe in our duo and their ability to win games. You guys should too. They're just losing to the better team, and that's it. You guys got the benefit of the whistles, I believe, game 2, maybe even game 1 and game 4. So I don't know what you're crying about with regards to fouls and free throw attempts, but you guys will find a way to complain about anything, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. I'll be doing a after game 5 podcast as well, so go ahead and follow that on Saturday night, and I'll see you guys next time.